Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video I want to talk about salvaging. In New World there are many things us as players have since launch done consistently without really testing or looking closely into. We look at the game, read the descriptions on certain skills or attributes, and we just go with it assuming it works and what we are doing is the right thing to do. I myself have even in many videos recommended many of these things because it was a game rule and everyone did it. But recently, I and a few other members in my community have started to know something that I wanted to test further, and upon testing, had some results that I feel need to be shared with everyone. So let's get into it. So I'm sure it is obvious by now, but what I am talking about is the 100 focus ability, and the idea that speccing into focus or using gear to hit 100 focus will give you 10% yield increase while salvaging, as it says. So first, we need to figure out what this means because like many things in New World, they word it in a way that doesn't quite explain exactly the effect it is having, or supposed to have, and we are left to draw our own conclusions. So with 100 focus, there will be really two ways we can look at it. Either you are supposed to get a 10% flat increase of something or everything while salvaging, simple, and what most people have assumed it does, or you're supposed to have a 10% better chance at getting more of something when you salvage it, which is another possibility. So knowing this, I set out to test which it was, so that we could better understand what exactly is happening here, and if it was even worth doing. So for my first test, I wanted to salvage some heart runes. The reason for this was simple. There are no variants in heart runes, so without the 10% focus perk we will expect to get 30 materia and 25 umbral shards per salvage. So assuming that with 100 focus we should have a 10% higher yield, then we should expect to see 27 or 28 umbral shards and 33 materia per salvage when salvaging these with 100 focus, right? That is, if it applies to materia and umbrals, which of course, like many things in New World, we don't know. So, as you can see, nothing changed. With and without focus, we received the exact same amount of umbrals and materia. So next we moved on to named items. So without the focus, we should expect to receive from salvaging named items 30 materia from weapons and 12 repair parts, as you can see per salvage. So let's try it with focus now. So, as you can see, the materia yield once again was completely unaffected. However, the repair part yield was increased, and increased consistently. So I thought maybe they simply excluded stuff like materia, umbral shards and stuff like that because it would be too overpowered. So I started crafting. So I made some bows to test the crafted items, and I started salvaging those to test. So first I salvaged a few to test without focus, just to get a baseline idea. Then I specced into focus and started salvaging once again, and right away I noticed an increase to the repair parts I received, but not to the amount of planks. So after doing this, I decided this needs to be tested in a larger scale. So I made 100 muskets and I salvaged them without focus. Now, by this point, I've established that we do get more repair parts, so I completely ignored that moving forward, and I focused on the returns of materials only. So in the end, after salvaging 100 muskets without 100 focus, I received back 243 orichalcum ingots. So then I made 100 more muskets to test what we will get with 100 focus. But based on what we know, we should expect in the neighborhood of 267 orichalcum ingots, right? Well, wrong apparently. What we got after salvaging these 100 muskets with 100 focus was in fact 242 orichalcum ingots, one less instead of 24.3 more. Now I know there is a variance, so maybe it was bad luck. But really less? That shouldn't be a thing. So I decided to test with armor as well. So I made 100 infused leather gloves and proceeded to salvage them without focus. So after salvaging these gloves, we ended up with 146 infused leather. And once again I crafted another 100 to salvage with 100 focus to see what we would get. And to be clear, assuming this perk is working, we should expect in the neighborhood of 160 infused, or at least something more than 146. However, again, after salvaging with 100 focus, we got 149 back in infused leather, only 3 more. And with the variance, we can assume basically the same amount as without focus. So I continued throughout the day, making 100 items, salvaging 100 items over and over, with and without focus. And every time, I did not get back the expected results. I got roughly the same amount. So it appeared that nothing at all was affected by this 100 focus perk. other than of course the repair parts. Now, I am aware that there's an element of RNG involved, and without testing millions of items, people would assume that this is anecdotal. So knowing what my outcomes were over and over, I turned to people far more knowledgeable and capable of doing things than I was. So after talking to them and being sent a data mined Word document, and of course having parts of it explained to me, because although I understand it for the most part, there is some stuff still way over my head. So anyway, here's what we found out. So the ability associated with having 100 focus and receiving the ability is called FOC_bonus_100_2. And when you scroll down through the adjusted modifiers associated with this, you quickly see nothing is changed or adjusted. Nothing except one, repair dust yield mod 0.1. And this of course is the repair parts. So yeah, going through this data mine would have saved me a ton of time and tests, but I hadn't even thought of it until after I'd run my tests. It was the strange results I got that led me down this path. So combining my in-game tests with the information we can plainly see in the data mine, we can safely say that speccing 100 into the focus attribute will do absolutely nothing for you in terms of salvage returns. For an entire year we have thought it did, when in fact it doesn't, and I felt it was very important for everyone to know this. Now, is this intended? Who knows? Maybe it's another oversight or error on the part of the devs, or perhaps a badly worded label on the attributability. Either way, I wanted to once and for all confirm what exactly this was doing, and if it was even worth doing at all. So guys, in conclusion to the question, does putting 100 points into focus give you anything extra while salvaging? The answer is of course yes, repair parts, and nothing else. No extra materials while crafting, no extra umbrals or materia, simply repair parts. I will be adjusting any of my crafting guides moving forward to reflect this discovery, but in the meantime, I just wanted everyone to know. And that's about all for this one, guys. I just really thought this information needed to get out there. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.